Hey guys! Welcome back to Dream Daddy. Alright, so last time I went through Joseph's entire route, and now I think I'm gonna go through Robert's route. I can do this. He may look intimidating, but I bet he just makes goofy jokes and has a heart of gold, probably. That's usually how it is, right? Hello, Robert! It's me, the weird one. Robert was pretty nice. A little odd, but nice. And ruggedly handsome. We should hang out. I type out a message to him on Dadbook. Hey Robert, good seeing you again at the cookout. Wanna grab a drink? I sit there for a couple of seconds, hoping he'll message me back. Hey, it says that he read my message. I anxiously wait for a response. God, you gotta watch cat videos, do something productive. I start down a rabbit hole of cat videos, and Robert quickly vanishes from my mind. I didn't realize how long I've been doing this, but by the time I watch maybe my 30th cat video, Robert pops back into my head. I jump back over to Dadbook to see if he's responded yet. Probably not. Nothing. Well, I guess the guy's busy. I might as well make the best of my day. Let me go grab a drink by myself. I get up, walk to the living room, then sit down and turn on the TV. I'm gonna make the day a busy one. I'm gonna be so productive. Just you wait. I like the Food Channel. I gotta watch the History Channel, man. Ooh, Naked and Afraid, Catching the Deadliest Ancient Aliens is on. I'm so cold. I'm so scared. At this rate, I don't think we're gonna catch these aliens by day 50. I'm having trouble following this. Ancient astronaut theorists predict that being naked makes you 10 times more likely to find ancient aliens. Some suggest that aliens are fascinated with the human physique, most notably the butt. Okay, I'm back in. I lose several hours to whatever the hell that was. Sighing, I get up and walk around the house. My stomach grumbles. Time for lunch, huh? Well, I guess it's time for old Chef Myers to cook a gourmet delicacy. Mac and cheese from the box? I walk over to the refrigerator and open the door. Mustard jar! Why would you do that to yourself, Richard? I'm not gonna microwave some eggs. That makes them so rubbery. You gotta go all out for lunch. I make a sandwich in its entirety while standing there. Who needs plates? The Standwich, a lost art. I admire my work for a second before I clumsily drop the entire thing on the floor. No! I look around and remember that Amanda's not home. This is still good. 5-second rule, right? I reassemble my sandwich, peeling pickles off the floor and putting them back where they belong, in my mouth. Wait, I'm a wreck. I finish my snack and walk around the house some more, bored. When's Amanda coming home? You're like a lost puppy, man. Oh, I just remembered something. When we were packing up the old house, we found an old basketball hoop that would hang off a door. It would really bring the living room together. I wonder where I put that. I spend a couple minutes poking around the new place until I find it. After installing it above one of the doors in the living room, I'm ready to dunk. Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. I take a leap from the free throw line and rocket that sucker down the net. The crowd goes wild. And welcome to the jam. I pull up from the three-point line, breaking ankles and sinking a fadeaway. And I forgot the rest of the words to this song. No look behind the back hook shot. Everyone's on their feet. Something something Space Jam. I managed to just barely defeat myself at horse before Amanda comes home. Then we cook dinner together. We're proud of ourselves for not even coming close to burning down the house. Afterward, Amanda and I dig into a carton of ice cream over an episode of Chopped, Toddler Tournament. What you have in front of you is a molecularly deconstructed sweet potato with a brown sugared demi-glace with creme fraiche, of course. This is literally a jar of baby food. The toddler immediately bursts into tears. Are we bad people for watching this? Yes. Just then, my computer dings. Huh? What's that? Oh, you probably just got a message. Amanda and I walk over to the computer and check Dad Book. It's a message from Robert. Wanna grab a drink? You up? I can't see! Richard, your face is in the way! What does that mean? I don't know. What are you doing? What you doing? What am I doing? You're just chilling. I'm just working on my motorcycle. You don't have a motorcycle, Richard! You're not that cool. I'm just chilling. I type back, just chilling. Amanda deletes the G and hits send. Hey, nothing's attractive about poor spelling. Just chill and it'll make you look cooler. A couple moments pass by, another message pops up.
Yeah.
Wanna grab a drink? Hey, that means he wants to hang out! I know what that means, Amanda. But it's kinda late. Come on, Pops, live a little! I am living with ice cream and traumatized toddlers. Well, it's your life, but I think you'd have a lot of fun tonight. You are trying to get to know the neighbors better, aren't you? Ugh, fine. I type back a message to Robert asking him for details, and he tells me to meet him at Jim and Kim's. Well, don't wait up for me. I never do. I throw on a nice jacket and run out the door. It's only a short walk to Jim and Kim's, and it's a beautiful night. I walk into the bar and see the usual crowd of barflies drinking beer and watching sports. I spot Robert at the back of the bar and wave hi as I walk over. Hey man, how's it going? Don't stare at me like that makes me uncomfortable. Hey buddy.
Hey.
Ahoy there, Skipper. Hi! Mary! Long time no see! In this universe, I never got together with your husband, so this is kind of odd. Robert and Mary are here? Uh-oh. I brought Mary along. Figured we needed a drinking buddy. Aw man, I was excited to get to know Robert a little better. Now I have to deal with this weird married lady making passes at me. Has she been making passes at you? She just seemed kind of neutral. Ugh. Don't look so scared, kiddo. We're just having a drink.
Hey.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think it's time for the first round. What are you having? Milk? Something tropical. You'd laugh at me! You'd laugh at me. Just beer. Beer's not strong, so... While admirable, I disagree. Robert orders 3 shots of whiskey and passes them between us. Well, this wasn't how I expected my night to be going.
Hey.
Here's to bad decisions and relaxed moral values, fellas. What have I gotten myself into? I'm a good boy. I shouldn't be doing this. We all knock back the shots. I almost choke on the whiskey as it burns down my throat. Holy hell, that was a kick. I look over at Robert and Mary, who seem like old pros at this. I'm not surprised. Like, honestly, have you seen them? Robert grabs his jacket and throws it on. Let's get marching. What? The night's young, Chief. Come on, we're bar hopping. Oh, all right. We leave the bar and start walking down the streets. I still don't know this area of town very well, so I just follow Robert. So where are we headed?
Oh.
Irish I were drinking. It's an Irish pub. A good pun is the whiskey to my heart.
Give it a rest, buddy.
That was a good one! Puns are the lowest form of humor, Richard. Try harder. Ouch. Am I gonna be the butt of the joke all night? Jesus, Mary, put your fangs away for a second. We walk into Irish I were drinking. The bar is pretty much the same as Jim and Kim's, except for the old-timey Irish memorabilia on the wall. Next round, what are you having? Am I having whiskey again? Do they make beer? Beer? You're probably gonna make me drink whiskey again. But I gotta double check! Do they make fruity Irish cocktails? Nope. Wow! Fuck you! You don't know how to appreciate a fruity drink! Alright, I guess that means I gotta do whiskey. Robert orders 3 more glasses of whiskey, and we post up in a garish green booth. Mary slides in and sidles up next to Robert, which makes me breathe a sigh of relief. Let's sip this one, why don't we? Suit yourself. Mary immediately downs her shot in one gulp and burps loudly. Same. That'll put hair on your chest. You are truly the paragon of grace and beauty. Mary grabs my drink and sips on it.
Ah.
Hey!
Ah.
Richard, be a dear and get us another round, will ya?
Ah.
I don't know how to process this evening at all. I get up and order another round of drinks from the bartender. As I head back, I see Mary and Robert having a lively conversation. Robert roars with laughter. I don't think I've ever seen the guys smile, let alone laugh. And let me guess, the minute I sit back down, they're back to their normal selves. Great! I love this! I love being excluded! I take a seat across the booth from them and pass out the drinks. So Edith's kid snuck some pop brownies onto the table at the last bake sale, right? And I spot that little hemp sweatshirted gremlin in the act, so I go up to Edith with the baggie and I'm about to tell her when all of a sudden she just freaks out at me. "You're ruining the bake sale," she says. "I should have been PTA president. Your roots are bad," and blah blah blah. So what you do? I told her to have a brownie and that everything was gonna be fine. They both erupt in laughter. I politely follow along with the story. She ate 3. More laughter. Okay, that was actually pretty funny. She called the cops and told them that time had stopped.
Give it a rest.
Mary looks directly at me. You guys, I was just laughing at the joke. It was funny. Do you smoke weed? What?
Hey.
You know, the devil's lettuce. I have 2 big fat blunts in my purse right now. Wanna blaze? Say no to drugs, kids. Which one will make me cool? No, can't even do drugs even if you want to be cool. I know pot isn't really that bad, but gosh, I'm already a lazy dad. I don't need any sort of like a motivational substance. I would just get even worse. I can't believe you would. I don't even know how you... This is a preposterous... Ugh. Wow, fuck you. I don't care about what you like or not. I don't care. Robert giggles helplessly. Oh. I'm glad you were into that, but like also not. I'm just kidding, cowboy. Lay off the kid, Mary. He might not be used to your brand of humor. Fine, fine. We sit around and sip our drinks, people watching and cracking jokes. After a little bit of time, I begin to warm up to Mary. Her jokes become much funnier and much less scary. But it seems like she's not going anywhere anytime soon. I just wanted some alone time with Robert. I wonder if I can get her to leave somehow. Yeah, but I feel like if I get her to leave, Robert's not going to want to talk to me. It seems like they're off doing their fine and dandy little 2 thing right now. Could you get the next round? Much of eligible bachelors around here. You trying to ditch me, pal? No. Because if you're trying to ditch me, you can just tell me to scram. No, it's fine. Richard wants alone time with his new best buddy, Robert. Are you mocking me? Like, I'm feeling so assaulted right now. Read you loud and clear. The wingman breaks formation to pursue their prey. So you were the wingman? I thought you were supposed to, like, help. Honestly, you're just sort of throwing me for a loop.
Hey.
Now, if you fellas will excuse me, Mary needs to sink her teeth into a helpless boy. You seem like you'd be more like a... No, I can't say you'd be a Damien type. Just because you're doing all this biting fangs and shit doesn't mean that you're right for a gentleman like Damien. Go with God. Nice seeing you. Deuces, nerds. Mary gets up and saunters over to a younger-looking guy at the bar. She grows on you. Does she, though? I feel like she kind of delights in making men suffer. Well, she does. But what about her and Joseph? What about them? You know, they're married, and she definitely tried to get in my pants the other night, and are you sure? Like, 'cause I'm not remembering any of this, Richard. I gesture to her across the bar where she's making goo-goo eyes at that young guy from before. He looks like he's being held hostage. Oh, that's just a thing she does. She's harmless. Tell that to the boy she's hanging off of. Poor kid looks like he's seen war. Robert lets out a hearty laugh. Hey, I got him to laugh! Jokes! Are you not into puns? No, Mary's not into puns. I still don't know about you yet. You're not into anything but whiskey so far. Aw, man, you know I pegged you for one of those straight-laced types. Oh, don't worry. I got pretty wild back in my day. Not as wild as Craig, but I'm still up there. Still got a little wild in you? I have a child I need to care for! There's so much wild in me. You know it. Robert orders a couple more rounds of shots. I gulp. What am I getting myself into? Think you can go shot for shot? There's only one way to look cool here. Poor Richard. I grab the shot closest to me and down it. Robert looks impressed. He takes his shot and knocks it back. That's one. So... what do I even talk about? He's so cool, and he probably hates small talk. So how are things? I hate small talk. I knew... freaking... okay. Too many people, and this isn't necessarily you, but too many people think they have to fill the dead air with noise. Personally, I think they're afraid of the silence, or they're afraid of what the other person is going to think of the silence. If you want some unsolicited advice, just learn to be comfortable with silence. Nothing wrong with two people sitting in silence and drinking whiskey, but there's nothing wrong with two people getting to know each other and drinking whiskey. Oh, all right. Robert and I sit in silence and drink whiskey. I take in the rest of the bar, patrons laughing, playing darts, spilling beer, Mary giving the hard sell to that young man, the young man pretending he got a phone call from one of his friends. Maybe silence is nice sometimes. So, you ever kill a man? I choke on my drink. Excuse me? You know, watch the life drain from someone's eyes. It's not just their life, you know. It's their hopes and dreams draining away. Every memory and experience they've ever had, gone. No. Great, me neither. Good talk, good talk. Robert knocks back his shot and motions for me to do the same. I reciprocate. I'm just messing with you. Relax. I laugh nervously. You're just messing with me. Nice. Or am I? I laugh nervously again. We sip more whiskey and people watch some more. Mary has her sights set on another man after the other one excused himself to the bathroom and, I assumed, crawled out the window. Gosh, this whiskey's hitting me hard. Gosh, this whiskey's hitting me hard! You betcha. Robert gets up out of the booth, shouldering his jacket. Let's roll. Where are we rolling? Sorry, whiskey, inside voices. Let's roll. Wait, what about Mary? Brother, Mary is gonna be just fine. I look over at Mary, who's lying on the bar in front of some poor sap. She's singing happy birthday to him while he insists that it's not his birthday. Have fun. We make our way out of the bar and back onto the street. I'm trying my hardest not to stumble, but man, that sidewalk is just coming right at me. I hope Robert doesn't notice me tripping over my own feet like this is the first time I've ever been drunk. 'Cause it probably isn't, right? Where to? You'll see. Yeah, I love convenience stores. Oh, it's a liquor store. I follow Robert through street lamp spotlights until we eventually arrive at a rundown strip mall. There's a beauty salon, a sex shop, a computer repair store that looks like it's been closed for 10 years, and finally a liquor store. Wait here. I'll be right back. After a minute, Robert returns with 2 wine bottles in brown paper bags. He hands one to me. I thought we were going bar hopping. 2 bars doesn't count as hopping. Cheers. He sits on the curb and drinks. He motions for me to do the same. This is really not where I expected the night to go. I take a sip. White Zinfandel? What? Nothing. I just wasn't expecting. It is delicious, fruity, and refreshing. Don't judge me. But you judge me when I ask whether or not they have fruity Irish drinks! Ah, you hypocrite! I start to say something, think of his lecture about valuing silence earlier, and stop. I sip on my wine and watch cars drive by. Let's throw rocks at shit. What? Robert suddenly hurls a rock at a stop sign. The ding echoes throughout the empty parking lot. That felt good. He presses a stone into my free hand. Now you try. Just don't aim at glass. I don't know. With feeling. I look at the rock in my hand and look at the stop sign. Back at the rock, back at the stop sign. I know what has to be done. I got a problem with authority! Amanda would be proud. I got a problem with authority! I hurl the rock at the sign. It sails over the stop sign, right into the window of a parked car, leaving a crack. Oh boy, your aim is awful, man.
Huh?
Dude, run! I leap up and dart into the nearest alley, wine in hand. I can hear Robert's footsteps behind me. Oh wow, this is a seedy alley. After I'm sure I'm far enough away from the cracked window that I am no longer culpable for this heinous crime, I stop to catch my breath. Maybe we strike rock throwing from the to-do list. Agreed. Suddenly, my stomach growls. Oh man, I am starving.
Oh.
Let's get pizza. I can't argue with that. Let's get some nice pepperoni pizza. Or maybe a combo. It's up to you, man. Where's good around here? Actually, I don't even care if it's good. It just needs to be edible and in my mouth in the next 5 minutes. I know just the place. I follow Robert through a maze of alleys and side streets until we eventually end up in front of a tiny hole-in-the-wall pizza joint. The bright red neon sign reads, Pete's Pizza Pizza. Ta-da! I can see a few exhausted-looking workers behind the counter, tossing dough and pulling piping hot pizzas right out of the stone ovens. My stomach rumbles again. We go up to the counter and get ready to order. Can I get 2 slices of Hawaiian pizza? Oh, wait, Richard. You're cool with pineapple on your pizza, right? Like, despite all of the pineapple on pizza discord, I don't care. I'll eat it if you want me to.
Hey.
We wait a minute for our pizza to come out of the oven. I'm practically drooling at the smell. The cashier hands us each a giant slice on a paper plate so saturated with grease that I'm worried it will fall apart. We take our pizzas outside and wander through the alleyways as we eat. I take a bite. It's absolutely delicious. Pineapple is truly the best pizza topping. I wouldn't go that far, Richard. Just because you enjoy it doesn't mean it's the best. You said it. Man, I feel way better now. You and me both. We hear noise coming out of a slightly ajar door in the alleyway. Robert looks at me excitedly. Got any more of that wild in ya? It depends. What are you asking? What are you asking? Okay, hopefully I don't regret this. I said I have some more wild in me. Robert and I slide the door open and peek inside. It's completely dark except for some flickering light. We slowly creep forward, cautious not to be heard or seen. Oh, it's a movie. Shh! Don't shush me so loud. Shh! We come to the end of the hallway and find ourselves standing in front of a movie screen. Oh, this suddenly makes sense. Did we really just sneak into a movie theater like a couple of teenagers? No talking during the movie. We look into the audience and are surprised to find that it's almost completely empty, save for a row of a few teenagers in the front. They look annoyed when they notice us. Robert starts making his way to the very back of the theater, and I follow him. We settle in with our wines and try to make sense of this movie. It's a romantic comedy, I think. A young man is frantically trying to get through New York to find the woman that he's finally realized he's in love with. Kiss already! There's nobody to kiss yet. You want him to kiss you want him to kiss the taxi driver? Hell yeah. The kids down the way notice us heckling. One of them speaks up. Hey man, keep it down. Hugo's freaking boy, what are you doing here? Does your father know you're out this late? Oh damn, that's Ernest Hemingway, Hugo's kid. Ernest! Hey, Ernest! I know you! It's me, your neighbor! Hi! Ernest turns back around, embarrassed. I turn back to Robert. He kiss anyone yet? It turns out that yes, he did kiss someone. He made his way out to a tiny island near New York to profess his love for a woman who, for some reason, he knew would be there. She tells him that they hit the jackpot. He said that they had, but I think there was some subtext I'm missing here. Boo! Love is dead! Shut up! It's beautiful! No, you shut up! Ernest grumbles. The credits start to roll. I stand up. Robert immediately pulls me back down. Hundreds of people worked very hard to make this film happen, and you're gonna sit here and appreciate them. Thank you, Robert. You see, that's the first thing that you did tonight that I can totally agree with. Like, secret after credit scene or not, you should sit through the credits. Okay. Look at that. Elizabeth Shelton. She worked really hard. I bet she did lots of good, wardrobe design. Thank you, Elizabeth Shelton, for this beautiful film-going experience. And Peter Anders, catering, fed a bunch of people so that they could have the energy to do their jobs. What a guy. We let the credits roll while Robert individually thanks every member of the crew. Once it's finally over and he makes sure no animals were harmed in the making of this film, we leave the movie theater. We stumble into the theater parking lot, polishing off the rest of our wine. Hey, assholes! Hi, is this Mary again? Out of nowhere, a rock flies through the air and hits me on the knee. Ouch! My knee! What the hell? Ernest and his friends stand in the alleyway, blocking our exit. You think you can take us? You're literally just teenagers. Oh, what do you guys want? Why'd you go and throw a rock at my knee? This is my good knee. My orthopedist is gonna be pissed. Ernest tosses another rock up and down in his hands. What's wrong with this kid? You ruined my theater-going experience. Now you have to pay. Oh, well, I don't have any cash on me right now, and movies got really expensive. Ernest hucks another rock at my other knee. I'm able to jump out of the way, but I didn't properly stretch before physical activity, and I'm probably gonna feel super sore in the morning.
Huh.
We ruined it for you? That movie was pretty crappy in the first place. Hey, you take that back. That was a beautiful love story with really genuine acting.
Oh.
You call that good acting? What classist mainstream slop have you been served your entire life? What?
Huh?
Have you ever seen any Michael Powell? A Matter of Life and Death, 1946? Easily the toughest 5 minutes of love you'll ever witness. Listen, man.
How dare
No,
you?
you listen. That popcorn-ass drivel the mass media is shoving down your throat will only make you dumber and sadder. You, of all people, should strive for a higher standard in the art you consume. Your name is Ernest Hemingway, for Christ's sakes. Oh no, now you've done it. Ernest rushes Robert, screaming like a banshee. Ah! Ah! I'm gonna beat you up. My name ain't Ernest Hemingway. I dive between Ernest and Robert, trying to stop the kid. He lunges forward, kicking me as hard as he can in the knee. That's my good knee! Fuck my knee! Robert gets in between Ernest and myself. It's as if he's seeing red. Buddy, you okay? Fuck, my fucking knee hurts!
What hurts, my friend?
Aw, I'm your friend, thank you! Alright, buddy, talk like a punk, get hit like a punk. Robert squares up into a boxer's stance. Queensberry rules, 3-minute rounds with 1-minute rests in between. No low blows, fish hooks, J-grabs, or high blows. What? And don't even think about pulling an illegal turnstile. That's an automatic deduction. That's an automatic deduction of 3 points. What? You'll have to designate a second if you're unable to fulfill your role as main duelist. One of your friends over there looks like he's had enough youthful vivacity to handle it. Hey man, I don't want to get dragged into this. That movie sucked. It's too late. You two are bloodbound. If he dies, you die. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Talk to Queensberry. We're just gonna go. Ernest and his friends warily back away. Robert calls after them. Fight me! Freaking fight me! You kicked my fucking knee, you punk! The Queensberry Association will hear about this! And consume better content! Once the teens are safely out of earshot, Robert turns to me. Were you about to actually fight that kid? Are you kidding me? I would never hit a child. That would be despicable. You throw the rules at them, though. They always bolt. Nobody wants a Queensberry-sanctioned throwdown.
Oh.
But full disclosure, I made half of that up. Wow.
Oh.
See, you don't even have to know the rules. You just make them up. Come on, let's get out of here.
How dare you?
Are you guys okay? Robert and I cool down a bit as we walk back to the neighborhood. I'm so sorry. I got really into the art of filmmaking. I'm so sorry. I get really into the art of filmmaking when I'm drunk. It's okay. I think it's cool how much you like movies. To be honest, I don't know a lot about them myself. Buddy, I got so much to show you. You ever see any Sam Fuller? I haven't. Fuller is cash. Thanks for defending my honor. It was an adventure. Adventure is all I got, buddy. Robert throws an arm around my shoulder and we drunkenly belt out tunes all the way back. We finally get to his doorstep. This was an interesting night. I liked it. A smile forms on his cheeks, a rare sight. Let's hang again soon, yeah? Yeah. I linger there for a second, swaying drunkenly in the night breeze. Robert claps me on the shoulder.
Oh boy.
Night, bud. Robert heads back inside and I stumble my way back home.
That was really special.
Thank you.
Welcome. You've got dads.
I do got dads. Let's try Bad Dad Part 2. I had a lot of fun with Robert the last time we hung out, but I'm beginning to wonder if he's dodging me. I've tried messaging him a few times, and Dadbook says he hasn't even read them. Haven't even seen him come out of his house, actually. I decide to send him one last message, figuring that this'll produce the same result. Hey man, don't know where you've been, but we should grab a drink soon. I walk away from my computer because at this point, I know he's not messaging me back anytime soon. I linger in the kitchen. I'm all caught up on work. The house is relatively clean. Maybe I should do something nice for Amanda. Ah, I'll bake her favorite pie. I root through the pantry and pull out all the ingredients. This is an old family recipe that I used to make with my grandmother when I was a kid. I lost the actual recipe card a long time ago, but I think I'll be able to remember how to bake it. I start mixing the ingredients together for the crust until I get a nice dough. I throw some cherries into a saucepan to make the filling. Normally, I don't like to multitask in the kitchen, but this cherry pie is a piece of cake. Pie? It's a piece of pie. I'm making a pie. Aw, man, I can never remember what temperature you're supposed to set the oven at. I'm pretty sure it's 375 degrees, but I could be wrong. Who am I kidding? I'm never wrong when it comes to this pie. My special twist on my grandma's recipe includes a secret ingredient that not even Amanda knows about. It really makes the cherries extra flavorful. God, why can't I remember what that secret ingredient is? It's not salt. Almond extract. That sounds really good, actually. Oh, it's almond extract. Duh. Oops, I accidentally poured a little too much in. Way too much in. I'm sure it's fine. Baking is an art, and some of the most beautiful art is made from mistakes. I finally get the pie in the oven. How long am I supposed to leave it in there? 50 minutes? Ah, I'll just wing it. Amanda's going to be so excited. That kid loves a good pie, provided that it's good. I have a seat at the kitchen table and do word jumbles until Amanda comes home. I can hear the door slam open. Yo, Pops! What smells like pie in here? It's pie, sweetie!
Huh.
Amanda darts over to the oven and looks inside.
Alright.
Yes! Hey, it's not done. Be patient.
Huh?
What's your angle here? What?
Hmm.
Pies are an objective-based confection. What are you trying to get out of me? I've been leading a double life. Amanda, I have terrible news for you. I'm actually a pro skateboarder, an aspiring astronaut, and bank robber. The lifestyle is calling me back, and I must go. One last job. You know how it is. This pie was the only way I knew how to tell you. Well, I appreciate the years we spent together, but a trade-up is a trade-up. Remember me when you're kicking your feet up in Ibiza. Thanks for all the pie. We share a cordial handshake. I wait a few more minutes before taking the pie out of the oven. I set it on a rack to cool and guard it so Amanda doesn't dig into it before it's ready.
Huh?
Huh. What?
Hmm.
Does it look kind of weird to you? Oh, that's just me taking artistic license on what cherry pie means to me emotionally. I'm just saying this because, you know, it seems like you might have baked this pie incorrectly. And you're currently, right now, trying to pass it off as a good thing.
Hmm?
It's art, sweetie. Was it art when you accidentally baked a whole uncracked egg into the center of my 12th birthday cake? Well, Was it art when you tried to make brownies and accidentally created chlorine gas? Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration. Was it art when you just eat the pie, Panda? I cut us a few slices and we sit down to eat. The cherry filling oozes out the sides and the buttery crust glistens. I watch as Amanda takes a bite. Ah. What's wrong? Is it not good? Amanda winces and fans her mouth. No, I just burned the heck out of the roof of my mouth. This pie is amazing. Sorry for doubting you. I breathe a sigh of relief and take a bite. She's right. The pie is pretty incredible, as it always is. I'm really proud of you for making a pie without burning the new house down. I got a few dad tricks up my dad's sleeve.
Yeah.
Maybe fathers aren't as bumbling and stupid as the media makes us out to be. Maybe we as a society should have a little more respect for fathers as a whole.
Whoa.
Dad, your sleeve is on fire. I run to the sink and put myself out. Pride will be my undoing. Amanda and I clean up the kitchen and play a little more living room hoops before she retreats to her room to do homework. I go back to my word jumbles. Hey, this one spells cat. The rest of the evening trickles by. We eat dinner, I help Amanda with one of her scholarship applications, and we both start getting ready for bed. I decide to check Dad Book one last time before I climb into bed. Still nothing from Robert. Hope he's okay. I turn out the lights and lie down. Buddy! Hey, Richard! Hey, Richard! Hey, I'm outside! Come outside! Ugh, what is that? I was just on the verge of falling asleep. I climb out of bed and try to identify the source of the dinging. My computer screen illuminates the dark room. I walk over to it, ready to turn it off, when I notice what's happening on screen. Don't make me honk. I will honk. Get out here. I look out my window and, sure enough, there's Robert leaning up against his pickup truck in my driveway. I open my door and try to figure out what's going on. Hey. Hey?
Hey.
Wanna hang? I was kind of sleeping. That's no fun. Come hang out. I would argue that sleeping is very fun, but I don't have to be anywhere in the morning. Might as well live a little. Sure. Cool. You plan on going out like that? I look down and realize that I am, in fact, not wearing any pants.
Oh.
I mean, I don't mind. Right, 1 second. I run inside and throw on my going out pants, shoes, and a jacket. I grab my keys and meet Robert back outside.
Oh.
Ready? Ready. Hop in. I jump into the passenger seat of his old red pickup truck. I have to move a few empty cigarette packets and gas station receipts out of the way before I can sit. Robert silently starts the car and we drive out of the cul-de-sac.
Oh.
You like Tom Waits? I'm liking the stickers and the hula hoop girl. It's really cute. Hoist that rag, baby. That's not good. Love, hoist that rag, baby. Is that... Yes! I love... Before I can answer, Robert turns up the radio. Yep, that's Tom Waits all right. He lights a cigarette and cracks the windows. We drive together in silence. So, where are we going? Robert doesn't respond. Robert? The music's changed. Robert, I would like to know where we're going. Oh, I heard you. He still doesn't answer my question. I look out the window and notice that Robert's taking us to the highway. I twiddle my thumbs. Well, whatever I've gotten myself into, it looks like I'm in it for the night. I settle into my seat and watch street lights pass by. I glance over to Robert, who's driving intently. He looks tired, as he always does, but there's something a bit more that I just can't place. I remember what Robert said about hating small talk and decide to keep my mouth shut. Besides, it's a nice evening. Look out the window, look at the sky, look at the trees. He notices me staring.
Oh.
Stop looking so nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm a little nervous.
Hey.
Just hang on, we're almost there. Almost where? I have no idea where we are. I think we're moving at a slight incline, but I'm not so sure. We eventually come to a stop. Robert gets out of the car and I sit for a second, unsure if he wants me to get out too. What are you waiting for? I hastily exit the car. Robert sits on the bed of his truck and pats the space next to him. Are we stargazing? How did you know I like space? Can't be my star shirt, can it? Oh. I sit down and take in the view. We're on a hill overlooking the city skyline against the bay. The cool night air rustles some trees near us as lights blink in the distance. Off to the side, I can see an entrance to a dense forest. This is, great, because not only can we observe the stars in the sky above, but we can see the lights of the city twinkle like artificial stars. That's sweet. Man, it's all so gorgeous. This is where I come to... Thanks, Robert. Took a lot to share that with me. I appreciate your honesty. What? I'm kidding. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Hey.
This is my little spot where I come to think. It's nice. You can see the whole city from up here. Really gives you some perspective. Robert reaches behind him and pulls something out from under his jacket. It glints in the moonlight, and I suddenly realize what it is. A small canteen of whiskey? Oh shit, that's a knife! Oh. Please don't stab me! Robert reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small piece of wood. Please don't stab me with that either!
Hey.
Robert takes the knife to the piece of wood and starts carving at it. Oh. I breathe a very audible sigh of relief as Robert looks at me sideways. Did you think I was gonna stab you just now? What? No! Not gonna lie, totally did. Hate to break it to you, but I did, in fact, bring you out here to harvest your organs. Play along. Yeah, well, you think you caught me in your trap, but I knew. For years I've been putting the most vile junk food in my body in preparation for this day. Come at me, friend, and reap what you will.
Oh.
2 steps ahead of you at all times. That's how I operate. Ha! Nothing gets past you, huh?
Hey.
Robert reaches into his pocket and pulls out a folding knife that he opens and hands to me. I'm gonna warn you, the last guy I had a knife fight with lost 3 fingers because he didn't know the 8 basic rules of knife fighting. You're familiar, correct? If I say no, are you just gonna make up rules like you did with the Queensbury fighting? I honestly can't tell when you're kidding. I'm so many levels of irony deep that I've forgotten what humor is. He and I laugh.
Oh.
Have you ever whittled before? Considering I'm not a grandpa, no. What do you mean by that? Well, I just thought that you would have a block of wood shipped to you along with your first social security check. Richard, I'll have you know that whittling is a time-honored tradition enjoyed by both young and old alike. That you're dismissing it before you even tried it speaks volumes about your character. However, because I've gotten to know you for some time and I've come to think of us as friends, I'm willing to attribute it to ignorance instead of malice. What I'm trying to say is, go get that stick. Robert motions to a good-looking stick on the ground, perfect for potential whittling. I pick it up. The most important thing to remember while whittling is to cut with the grain, not against it. If you cut against the grain, the wood is going to splinter. Isn't the most important thing safety? Nah. To hell with safety. No. Getting hurt comes with the territory. Look at my damn hands. I look at his damn hands. They're calloused and covered in little white scars. They are very nice hands. You can't make a stick omelet without breaking a few hand eggs. Ah! Did you break a hand egg? While I'm distracted, the knife slices into my thumb. Blood gushes all over my little wooden carving. So I cracked an egg. Robert is lost in carving and doesn't notice me bleeding everywhere. Robert still doesn't notice. Robert, I'm dying. I'm bleeding to death. Robert finally looks over.
Hey.
He reaches into his jacket again. Jesus, how much stuff does this guy keep in there? And pulls out a red bandana. He wraps it around my thumb. Hold tight. He hops off the truck and I can hear him rummaging around in his car. He comes back a moment later with a well-stocked first aid kit. He's definitely prepared. Survival, so good. Robert carefully wipes all the blood off my hand and swipes a bit of antiseptic onto the cut. With surprising gentleness, he places a bit of gauze on the wound and wraps it all up. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. He hands me what's left of the tube of antiseptic. Make sure to keep that cut clean. Don't want it to get infected. It's oddly touching and a little sexy? Question mark. I guess I'm a real whittler now.
Ah,
That you are. Be careful though. They're attracted to the smell of blood. Wait, what? What's attracted to the smell of blood? Real whittlers?
huh.
Cryptids. Tons of them out here, you know. Cryptids? Like Mothman and stuff? Mothman is bullshit, but yeah. Wow, fight me. I love Mothman with all my heart. He is a genuine cryptid. This town's a hotbed for cryptozoological occurrences. You're joking. Oh, how I wish I were. I'm a skeptic myself, or at least I thought I was. There are things in these woods that we can't possibly comprehend. I think about my entire time in this city. Aside from the occasional stray coyote, I don't think it's too bad. You ever hear of the Dover ghost? I don't think so.
There,
Well, let me tell you a story.
there.
I was out in the woods here on a weekend camping trip with Betsy. You don't know Betsy, but she's a big pup, pit bull. Real intimidating. I feel safe around her. First night goes without incident. I get some solitude, Betsy gets to pee wherever she wants. All good stuff.
Oh,
Second day, I get the idea into my head that I can hike deeper into the woods, probably against my better judgment, but hey, we were just having a fun camping trip, right? So me and Betsy start marching in the morning.
huh?
It gets a little late, and we set up camp, but it's different this night. Real quiet. I can't hear the birds, the crickets, squirrels, nothing. Dead silent. Then it happens. I hear the most unholy growl I've ever heard in my life. Right outside my tent. Me and Betsy, we go investigate. We look around the clearing. Nobody's there. But there's this feeling. Not sure if I can quite describe it. I know someone, something, is watching us. Betsy, though, she is scared. Never seen her like that. And when she's scared, I know that I should be too. And then I see it. In the distance. A man, but if something that didn't know what a man was supposed to look like made it. It just looked wrong. Big. Arms too long for its body. Black eyes. It just stood there and stared at me. Then it disappears. I hear one yelp from Betsy, and I turn around to check on her, but she's gone. Into thin air. I didn't sleep at all in my tent that night, and I don't think I've slept right since. It's pretty wild. That's terrible. Wow. Robert,
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
oh.
They say that if you listen closely on quiet nights, nights just like tonight, you can hear the howl of the Dover ghost. I feel like you're totally setting me up to scare me, but like, I also feel like I need to take you seriously. A howl resonates through the woods. It doesn't sound like a regular howl. Oh, you're serious. It's so guttural. Even from far away, something about it makes my skin crawl.
Huh?
Okay, Robert, real funny. I turn to look at Robert. He's white as a sheet. You're messing with me, right?
Uh-huh.
I was messing with you up until literally just now. I totally made that camping story up. I saw that coming. I strain my eyes to scan the forest line, trying to see where the howl originated from. Off in the distance, I see something. It's so far away. I can barely make out a shape. It looks human, but it's dragging something. Do you see that? We should go.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa. Robert and I slowly back away and get into the truck. He turns off his headlights, and we make a slow crawl away, back onto the road. I'm too scared to look back. What was that?
Huh?
The Dover ghost, I guess. I chuckle nervously. This time he doesn't seem like he's messing with me. Or maybe someone illegally dumping garbage on a wildlife preserve? Yeah, that's the story we'll tell ourselves.
Really?
We sit in silence for a little while longer, the fear of whatever that was slowly subsiding as we get closer to the city.
Hey,
Thanks for coming out. This was fun. I'm sorry, I haven't been in touch. I've just been in a way lately. I had to get out of the house. I'm sorry. Had to be around somebody. You doing okay, man?
huh.
Robert thinks for a second and lights another cigarette.
Oh,
Been doing a lot of thinking. He takes a long drag.
oh.
As I get older, I feel more and more that I'm just drowning in this sea of regret. I was so busy chasing after these things that I thought would make me happy that I didn't think about anyone else. All I cared about was myself. I didn't even think.
I...
Robert stops. I wait for him to finish his thought, but he just stares at the road. Maybe I'm just built like this. Or maybe I do it to myself. Maybe it's my own choices that I'm as unhappy as I am. I try to think of something to say. I remember all of the times in my life when I've been sad, and there's a great many of them, but there was always a light at the end of the tunnel, something I held on to that kept me going.
Hey.
But there's something so resigned about the way Robert's talking. That sucks. Maybe we deserve to be eaten by the Dover ghost. Would that be funny, or would you just get spooky scared about that? I'm glad you told me, but I think I remember reading on your profile you're all like, oh yeah, I'm not really into emotional bullshit. Maybe that's why it's here. The Dover ghost feeds off of your sadness. My sadness. It hunts us in the night.
Oh.
Honestly, it makes sense. I was trying to kid around, but I mean, if you think it's serious, you can go ahead and take it seriously.
Huh.
To just be devoured for my sins.
Huh.
Yeah, that sounds pretty great, actually. Buddy! Buddy! Are you okay? No! Buddy, baby, please. It was a joke. I'm turning the car around. We're going back. Robert slams on the brakes and puts the car in reverse. Robert, wait. He stops the car again. You know what? I thought about it. It's not my time yet.
Hey.
I haven't finished watching the Criterion collection. They just keep adding stuff to it.
Oh no.
But thanks, Richard. Anytime, Robert. We drive the rest of the way in silence, listening to the radio and watching the bright lights of the city grow bigger. Robert drops me off at my place. As I'm about to close the passenger door, I realize that I still have Robert's pocket knife in my jacket. I pull it out and offer it to him.
Oh.
You hold on to that. Never know when you might need it. Night, Robert. Have a safe drive home. Robert smirks, then pulls away. He then immediately pulls into his driveway, which is one over from mine. He gets out and waves. Safe trip! I tiptoe into the house, careful not to wake Amanda up. Whoa, where'd you come from? I look around and spot Amanda coming out of the kitchen with a glass of water. I thought you were sleeping. Oh, Robert woke me up to go cryptid hunting. You know the Mothman is bullshit, right? Amanda, You know what? It's fine. I finally decide to go to bed. I think that went well. I think that went really well. Yeah.
Uh-oh, where'd my pants go?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Ugh. I'll never get over Danny voicing this guy. I will never.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Ooh, alright. Next one. Oh, wait. Let me save it. Alright, let's go. Third dates get pretty serious. I'm ready. I haven't spoken to Robert since that night we drove out to his thinking spot. He seemed unusually somber then, like more so than the usual amount of somber that Robert is, which is already a lot. I've been thinking about him and hope he's doing okay, but I've been a little reluctant to reach out to him. Richard. Hey, Richard. Guess who's getting their drink on tonight? I look at my dad book messages. There's a flurry of them from Robert. Guess. It's you. Also me, but mostly you. It's tonight, so not right now. Yeah, dude. Why? Do you really want to talk about this over text? Probably not. Yeah, dude. I type back to Robert. Robert, buddy, tonight we ride. Yes! Meet me at Jim and Kim's at 8 p.m. Not that I'm unappreciative, but I think this is the first time that Robert's giving me more than an hour's warning before hanging out. Amanda! Amanda pops her head into the hallway, music I don't recognize blaring from her room. What's up? I'm hanging out with Robert later tonight. Okay, cool. Robert, who is my friend. I have friends. I'm happy for you, Dad. People enjoy my company, Amanda.
Ugh.
Dad, I'm so happy for your continued development as a human being. What are you listening to? Sad shit. I don't give a fuck anymore. What would Grandma think? I don't give a fuck anymore. Amanda, You know what? You're an adult now. I gave it an earnest effort for all 18 years of your life. Go forth and swear. Fuck yeah! I really hope I don't regret this. Amanda goes back into her room and turns up the volume to her sad shit. I put on my going out coat and walk over to Jim and Kim's. I spot Robert leaning against the brick wall, smoking a cigarette. As I get closer, I realize that he looks a little different. Cleaner, I guess. It actually seems like he combed his hair, and his clothes are less wrinkled than usual. Hey. Hey. You take a shower just for me? I'm working on my relationship with existence. We both stand there for a second and don't say anything. Robert finishes his cigarette and abruptly goes inside. I follow him. By the time I get inside, Robert's already at the bar ordering 2 whiskeys. I spot a booth in the back and claim it for us. Robert slides in and hands me a glass. To you. To us? To toast. To us? But you've done a lot, but maybe you'll feel awkward singled out. To us. Here's to us and all the property damage and petty larceny that we may commit tonight.
Hi.
We clink whiskeys, and I watch him sip his, rather than his traditional approach of slamming the whiskey back as quickly as possible. So what's the plan for tonight? Hit some other bars, maybe grab some pizza. I think that'll kill some time before we go burn down that old abandoned house in the woods. It's definitely not as fun if it's abandoned. Hi, Mary, I'm glad to see you here.
Hey.
Mary pops over the back of the booth, a glass of wine in her hand. She punches Robert in the shoulder. Where was my phone call?
Hey.
Sorry, figured you were busy sinking your teeth into some poor sap. I am. He's right here. I look around the booth to see a guy sitting across from her. He waves meekly. Oh, poor guy. Ugh. You replacing me with the new kid? Mary, I could never replace you, whether I wanted to or not. Mary leaves her booth and slides in next to Robert, giving the guy ample time to run. The guy she was sitting with looks mildly relieved. She eyes Robert's clean-pressed clothes up and down, suspiciously. What, do you got a court date coming up? He'd never convince the jury. He does. He looks handsome. I don't think Mary'd be into that. He would have had to shave first. Seriously, though, what's up with you? Robert stares down at his drink, suddenly looking serious. It's Pappy. Doctors say it's cirrhosis of the liver. I told that old bag of bones to quit it with the sauce, but it's all he's ever known, especially since Ma's gone. That's why I invited you out tonight. Just didn't want to be alone. Poor guy. Oh, come on. Richard, don't be an asshole. You know the one thing Robert doesn't joke about is his Pappy. Whoops. They're giving him 2 months. I gotta help him straighten out his affairs. Robert, I'm so sorry. Robert takes a long look at his whiskey, eyeing it in the dim glow of the bar's lights. I look at his life, then I look at mine, and I know history is just doomed to repeat itself. Oh my god. I'm just kidding. He's retired with his new girlfriend in Acapulco. They watch the sunset every night, probably screw like donkeys. Wait, aren't rabbits the ones who screw a lot? Oh, sorry, didn't realize you were an expert on which animals screw a lot.
Ugh.
Please stop saying the word screw. Robert finishes his drink and slides it away from him. He gets up out of the booth. Me and Richard are gonna hit the bricks. You coming with? Mary casts one last glance at the sad sap she's been hunting and downs the rest of her wine in one gulp.
Hey.
This place is dead anyways.
Oh.
We exit the bar and find the typical empty street filled with a small crowd of people. At the front is a guy with a really deliberate attitude and bad posture. He carries a lantern that he shines up at his face for dramatic effect. What's going on? Looks like it's one of those walking ghost tours. They do that in this part of town all the time. Can we go? Can we totally just do that? I've always wanted to do one of those. Let's do it tonight!
Ah.
You know, all of the stories are fake, right?
Oh,
Pretty much all of my stories are fake. This is research.
Ah.
Robert makes a beeline towards the back of the group. He turns around when he notices that I'm not following him. Why am I not following him? Come on! We can't just crash it, can we? Don't be such a square, Richard. Just act like you belong. Robert sidles up to the tour group. I reluctantly fall into step behind him. Well, here goes nothing. Hey! It was in this place in 1694 that the most infamous witch trials were held. To date, we do not know if the people burned at the stake were actually witches, but it is widely reported that their ghosts still haunt this hapless dive bar to this very day. It was actually 1692. What? And the site was over by the coffee shop down the road. I'm sorry, who are you? Daniel McSturgis, ghost historian. And this is my colleague, Dr. Contemporary 80s reference. Dr. Loomis, paranormal investigator extraordinaire. We're touring America's most haunted locations as research for a new book. You may have seen our guest cameo in Paranormal House Hunters Extreme Edition. A couple of people in the group start nodding. Man, Robert's good at this. Are you guys part of the group? I don't remember seeing you at the first stop. We like to keep a low profile. Easier to catch ghosts that way.
Oh.
They've definitely been here. Been standing next to them the whole time. Thank you, random lady who I do not know.
Ah.
As I was saying, the epicenter of paranormal activity can be found at the Coffee Spoon over there. The man who runs it has been plagued by hauntings since he signed the lease. Damn near driven him mad. But whatever you want to say is cool, I guess. It's your tour.
hey.
Man, didn't know that about Matt. That's probably not true, Richard, please. Wait, Robert's making this up. The rest of the tour group listens intently to Robert's every word. I think the tour guide can tell he's losing the group. He seems to be getting flustered. Ah, poor Brian. Thank you for your contribution and knowledge, Mr. McSturgis. Let's move on to the next haunted location. Robert, Mary, and I follow the group down the street. That tour guide's shirt is cool. Yeah, everyone in the group gets one if we make it to the final location. I turn to Robert and grab him by the shoulders. I need that t-shirt. Well, guess we're in this for the long haul then. Just follow my lead. Don't arouse too much suspicion, and we'll have cool ghost shirts in no time.
Hey.
Our group arrives at an old, decrepit colonial-style house. A quick pause in the tour. My name is Quinn, but most people on the ghost tour circuit call me Tour Master Quinn. I'm a DJ, trivia master, and part-time actor. I do private ghost hunting events, birthday parties, MC bar mitzvahs, and perform traditional vaudeville mime work. Tour Master gives out headshots to all of us. His resume is on the back. Stage combat experience. Anyway, here's a little bit of history for you all. This was the home of noted American author Dorothy Pembridge, whose prose was wildly popular in the late 19th century. It was in the attic of this very home where she wrote such classics as The Diaries of a Victorian Mistress, Lady Fitzwilliam's Courtship, and The Ghost of Sea Captain Reginald Barclay. She unfortunately died of consumption shortly after the turn of the century, but several people have reported that on some nights you can see a light from the attic where the ghost of Miss Pembridge continues work on her latest bestseller. I guess you could say that she was consumed by her work. Ha! Jokes! You seem like you'd be a dad too, honestly. No reaction from the crowd. This guy needs to work on his dad jokes. Actually, consumption is the popular cover-up. Little known fact is that it was a murder-suicide. I'm pretty sure she died of consumption. Sure. And we definitely didn't hire Stanley Kubrick to elaborately fake the moon landing. That's the watered-down, censored version they teach you in school. But if you can't handle the real story, I understand. It's not for the faint of heart. Can we? I think everyone would much rather hear what this world-renowned ghost historian has to say. Right, everybody?
Hey.
The group murmurs in agreement. Yeah, I want to hear what this world-renowned got to say. Poor Quinn.
Oh.
This is a topic we cover extensively in our book. Dr. Loomis, would you care to tell this story? Oh, boy.
Ah.
Go with riff something highbrow. Go with something I know. Rely on amazing improv comedy. Go with something I know. In the 19th century, Dorothy Pembridge was credited for protecting New York City from potentially world-ending Oh no. Ghostbusters is what you know. Despite her success, her ragtag groups of ghost hunters were disbanded by government officials. However, after learning that the ghost of Vigo the Carpathian had taken an interest in her son, her and her ghost-busting friends launched a mission to defeat the ghost and once again save New York City. Hey, isn't that the plot too? Nope, it's not. Okay, good. The tour guide sees this as an opportunity to take back the group and addresses us with some razzle-dazzle. Haha, what an interesting story.
Hey,
Come on.
Now, I just want everyone to know that the next location is extremely terrifying. If anyone thinks they can't handle it, feel free to excuse yourselves.
Oh my god.
Alright, I'm bored. Mary turns to a young guy looking at his phone and taps him on the shoulder. Hey, kid. Fancy buying a gal a drink? The guy looks up at her and smiles. Only if the bar is haunted. Honey, I can show you the most haunted place in town. I think I could exorcise your demons, if that's what you're looking for. Don't write checks your dick can't cash, kid. His eyes go wide. Mary salutes me and Robert. She suddenly pulls me into a hug and murmurs into my ear. When you've known Rob for as long as I have, you know when something's wrong. Keep an eye on him for me tonight, okay? Okay. Sure, Mary. Good man. Mary pats me on the back and pulls away. She takes the guy's hand and leads him down the street. Take it sleazy, fellas. God help that poor soul. Mary or the kid? Both. Our last stop. This burial ground is such a hotbed of horrifying paranormal activities that I'm not even sure where to begin. There's the wailing ghost of the Wharf Man, the vampire of Maple Bay, the children of the moonlight. The vampire of Maple Bay? Are we talking about freaking, that person that we saw? That person that we saw in the woods dragging or carrying something? Or are we talking about Mary because she totally is, like, vampire-themed? Like, low-key vampire-themed. What about the Dover ghost? By this point, the tour guide is clearly irritated with us. What about it? Oh, nothing. I just think it would be a crime to come all the way out to this cemetery, the actual origin of one of New England's most notorious paranormal entities, and not even mention the infamous Dover ghost. That's not a real thing. That is absolutely not a real thing. I think someone needs to brush up on their paranormal history. Why are we giving Quinn so much shit? He's just trying to do his job. I know tons about paranormal history. I know every ghost story in this area. I can guarantee there's one you don't know, the Dover ghost. Robert looks over at me and smiles.
Oh.
Would you folks care to hear the tale of how Loomis and I met? No. The entire group shushes the tour guide. Shh. Okay, fine. Tell the story.
Oh.
Well, it was a dark and stormy night. I wasn't always a paranormal investigator.
Oh.
Way back when, I was just a traveling grifter. Moving from town to town, always looking for my next mark. It wasn't an easy life, but I had fun, taking from the rich, giving to the poor. Actually, also taking from the poor. I had a shaky moral foundation. I happened upon the quiet town of Maple Bay quite by accident, but little did I know that this city has a dark side. Now, about the same time, I was just starting out as an apprentice to a rather famous ghost hunter who was an old family friend of mine. I carried the equipment, operated the EVP machine, all that. Wait. Yes? Who was the famous ghost hunter? Well, I don't like to name drop, but Georgia Mathers. The tour group gasps. Georgia Mathers? She's a legend! You know her? Knew her. Amazing woman. Died mysteriously. Miss you, Georgie.
Hey.
Anyway, we were in Maple Bay investigating some reports of strange lights and sounds coming from the cemetery late at night. Now, we had been warned by the old crypt keeper that this place was highly dangerous, but Georgia was never one to shy away from an adventure. We camped out in the center of the cemetery for 3 nights straight. We endured your so-called wailing watchman. Wailing ghost of the Wharf Man. Whatever. Your stupid vampire was just a teenager in a mask. But the Dover ghost? Man. Tell him, Loomis. So, there I was, just walking back to my hotel after a long day of working a couple short cons. Classic pigeon drop scam. Putting out feelers for a rip deal. I was gonna steal a baby, probably. Would have made me rich. I found myself walking past this very cemetery. Now, I was never a very superstitious man, but something seemed off. I could hear some sort of commotion happening deep within the graveyard, and I felt compelled to investigate. And thank God you did. Georgia and I were conducting a seance in the mausoleum. At first, things were pretty normal, but after about an hour, everything went south. Playing back the EVP meter, we were able to hear a single word.
Whoa, whoa.
Run.
I...
The air suddenly went cold. Something was very, very wrong. I just knew we weren't alone. We started to hear this faint, distant scraping noise, like something being dragged across the ground. It got louder and louder until it was deafening, some kind of demented howl. And then I felt it. Someone, something, grabbing my ankle. Robert has the whole crowd hook, line, and sinker. You could hear a pin drop. I've only cried twice in my life. Once was at the birth of my daughter. The other was when that thing started dragging me. I wasn't sure where it was taking me, but knew it was no place I wanted to go. I was sure I was going to die. The moment I crossed the gate into the cemetery, I heard this god-awful screeching. I ran into the mausoleum just in time to see a man being pulled across the floor by... God, to this day, the mere thought of it ties my stomach into knots. It looked like a man, but like... I glanced at Robert. Like someone who didn't know what a man was supposed to look like, tried to put one together. The arms were too long. Its eyes glowed red. It was like a walking shadow. What did I do? What any good person would do. I lunged for... Shoot, what was his fake name again? David? David. Fuck! Oh no! I messed it up! I ruined everything! I'm sorry! We were best friends! Daniel, shit! Fuck! I knew it wasn't Davis! It was either David or Daniel! I'm sorry, Robert. I failed. Right. I grabbed his hand and entered into a tug-of-war with the unholiest of forces. I thought I was going to be torn in half. But I had God on my side. The pocket Bible I always kept on me fell out of my shirt pocket, and to this day I can remember what passage it opened up to. Oh God, okay, I want this to be good, so hold the freaking phone. I am literally going to research all of this. Leviticus... Okay, Leviticus 2:5. If your grain offering is prepared on a griddle, it is to be made of the finest flour mixed with oil and without yeast. Nah, that's lame. Let's try... Okay, Revelations 1:3. Blessed is the one who reads aloud the words of this prophecy, and blessed are those who hear it and take to heart what is written, because the time is near. Well, that's better. Let's check Ecclesiastes 12:7. And the dust returns to the ground it came from, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Well, that's all right. I'm pretty sure Austin isn't Stone Cold Steve Austin, an American actor. Oh, signed to WWE. That's the Austin 316. Wow. I think I'm gonna go with this one. This one's pretty good. And it's sort of like obscure. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. I have no idea where Robert pulled that verse from. You know your Bible stuff, man. With a horrifying growl, the entity finally relented. Daniel and I collapsed onto the ground, exhausted. We were both covered in blood. That damn creature clawed into my chest, got me real good. Had to get 16 stitches. Robert pulls down the collar of his shirt to reveal a long, wicked scar across his pecs. Buddy! Like, real talk, how'd you get that? And that's how I got this scar. I followed Georgia Mathers to the ends of the earth. We faced exorcisms, demons, poltergeists that threw our equipment across the room. But I had never seen Georgia so scared. She was never the same after that, and neither was I. Watching what happened to Daniel and Georgia shook my faith, but I came out of that experience a better man and a better friend. And we've been brothers ever since. The tour group gives us a round of applause as Robert and I share an emotional hug. As he embraces me, I can smell the cologne on his neck. Wow, Robert does clean up good. I find myself lingering a little too long on the hug. Thank you, thank you. It's an honor to be able to share our story. Be sure to watch out for our book. The Bro's Guide to the Hottest Ghosts. I Saw a Demon, the shocking true story of seeing a demon. Paranormal excursions of the supernatural ice road. No, it's I Saw a Demon. Robert has to suppress a laugh at that one.
Hey.
All right, even I can see the holes in that story. Please leave. Way to go, Richard. What do you mean? Robert sulks away from the tour group, and I follow him at a respectable distance. What do you mean I ruined it? It was going so well. We almost had him.
Oh?
Almost. I might have overdone it, but I thought it was great! I was totally into it. You were totally into it. I think you might have overdone it in some portions of the story.
Hey.
Yeah. We arrive in front of Robert's house. Well, see you later. Robert hastily walks up the steps to his home. After giving me a courtesy nod, he disappears into the house without looking back. Without looking back? Did I soil it? It's better to be early than late. B?
Fun.
Oh boy. I think that's my worst one yet. I'm so sorry, man. Well, I got through Knife Dad. Whew, I think I have everything. Oh, this is the party. Alright, the dialogue's probably gonna be the same except for, Richard and I are gonna... No, I'm Richard. What am I doing? Robert and I are gonna be talking at the tree instead of Joseph, so I'll just skip through that. Oh! I skipped past a Mary thing. You're gonna do fine in college. I'm sorry. What's going on here?
Ugh.
Girl talk. Mary turns back to Amanda.
Ah.
Now let me tell you about how to deal with a bad roommate. First thing to know, you get straight A's if they die during the semester. Mary!
Ugh.
Relax, it's a myth. Supposedly. Against my better judgment, I leave them be. Okay. Now this is all familiar. As the party starts to wind down, I take a seat next to Robert. The sun is setting and everyone seems to have eaten their fill. I'm sorry I overdid the story the other night. I thought you were really into it. You seemed totally into it. There were eggplants flying. You could feel the magic in the air. Hey. Hey. I haven't heard from you in a bit. How have you been? Oh, I'm great. Never better. So did you talk to Val? Robert sighs and readjusts himself. You know, Richard, I don't speak to my own dad that often. Had a falling out with him years ago. Don't even remember what it was about. All I know is that me and him, we just don't see eye to eye. I mind my business. He minds his. I get a Christmas card from him every other year, and I check in with him if a tropical storm ever hits his villa. What I'm trying to say is that I turned out fine. Robert? You didn't talk to her? It's like you said, life is full of pain. He places a hand on my thigh.
So.
This is all that matters. I instinctively pull back. A wave of guilt rushes over me. Why'd you pull back, bruh? Robert, no, it's not that simple. I can't believe you didn't even try. You owed that to her. How do you think she feels, knowing that her own father didn't even think she was worth having a relationship with? I must have missed something. I must have totally missed something. I did not talk to frickin' Robert at all about his family. I didn't even know he had a family. Other than, like, the father part. You don't know me. Yes, I do. You're a bad... Don't just say that, man.
Hey.
And you fell for me, so what does that make you? Robert gets up. You know, it's funny how you were so willing to look past this when it meant you... No, it was more than that, Robert! Don't make me cry like this, baby. It was more than that, Robert! I love you and your funny stories and your quirky sense of humor and our late night escapades, drinking whiskey, complaining about modern media. It was more than that, Robert. I want to know you. I want to know your life story. I want to know your family. I want to know where you got that scar. I got the bad ending, didn't I? I so got the bad ending, didn't I? But I thought it went so well. I even got an S-rated date ending. Oh, Robert. You know, it's funny how you were so willing to look past this when it meant you could get laid. He walks away, leaving me alone on the bench, alone with my thoughts. Amanda and I wave bye. This is the same thing. Oh. Makes me feel so bad. Oh my gosh. What are the odds that 2 daddies in a row, I get the neutral, like, not good ending? And I know they're not necessarily bad endings, but if it's not good, then to me it's automatically bad. But, like, what are the odds? I thought I did... I guess I should have been more personal. Maybe I should have talked even though he likes silence? I'm definitely gonna go back and redo that later. Just like a personal thing, so I know what's going on. But like seriously, what are the odds? 2 daddies in a row, neutral. Maybe I'm just a really bad gamer. That's so disappointing, and I'm hurt. But I guess that means I need to be more personal. Oh. That's right, I didn't even do a mini-game with him. There's always mini-games though, right? A whittling mini-game? That is so... Robert! Oh, I didn't get the mini-game. Is this a thing where, like, you have to go through them, but then you have to, like... Freaking... You gotta go through them all to get a secret ending or something, or to unlock the ability to get a new... get a new ending because you have new information that you gained from the other daddies? Is this gonna have a deep, like, dark, hidden story in the background, like Hatful Boyfriend did? Hatful Boyfriend, fine and dandy, fun game, dating pigeons. But underneath the cheerful, happy, sparkly, romantic facade, there was a dark secret to this universe. And it was awful. But it was such a great story. Is that what this is gonna be? Is that what this is gonna be, Game Grumps? You need to tell me straight up. You're not gonna tell me straight up. So, alright, I guess that means I'll just keep going through the daddies, hoping I can eventually get a good ending. Oh my god. Who do I want to go with? Poor Richard, he's been through so much. That's alright, Richard. Maybe this next daddy that you get will be a good one for you. I don't know which one he wants, though. I'll figure that out next episode. Alright, so that was, Robert's route. At least one of them, probably. I don't know. Man. So, yeah, Robert's route. If you guys want to play Dream Daddy yourselves, there is a link in the description below. Check it out on Steam. It's like $15. Totally worth it, honestly. So freaking worth it. But yeah, this is Dream Daddy. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys for the next video.